Eric Peterson with Dealer Risk here. Today's monthly business tip talks about hiring best practices. Now look, you guys know hiring in the dealership industry is tough, right? So what we have here is a simple 4 steps to creating a hiring process that can allow you to hire the best people and do it consistently when you need them into the future. I think one of the main challenges that you guys go through is the fact that you don't hire regularly. So you don't have a system or a process in place. So here are the 4 steps that we recommend you put in place so that you have a hiring process and can hire the best possible people. First one is the actual paperwork. Make sure you have a job description. It sounds basic, but that sets up the expectation of what you want from the employee or the prospective employee. Make sure you're getting an application, right? And make sure you're actually having the right background authorization form signed so you can do the background checks. You can do the driving record checks. You can do the criminal checks, all those type of things. So create the initial paperwork, make a list of what you need, and use that every time. The second step is actually doing the interview process. And I typically like to do a 3-step interview process. Now, I know some of you will feel anxiety by just hearing that, but really listen to what we have here. And the very first one is doing a phone interview. Now, most of the people you're hiring won't be on the phone, but doing a phone interview shows a couple things. One, it shows if the applicant be prompt and timely. It shows if they're going to be distracted, like if they're driving when they're doing the interview, how serious are they about doing their job safely or giving you the time and attention that it deserves. So you can hear a lot from a phone interview, and it weeds out a lot of people that you don't need to get to the in-person interview stage. So do a phone interview first. Have some questions about, the overall, their personal goals in the dealership industry and learn about them that way. The second part of the interview process would be an in-person with either your hiring manager, HR person, the department head that person may be working under, and do that as more of a traditional type of interview, right? After that, the third interview I think is super important. You bring them back and you have them have a team lunch or meeting or something, have them meet the team that they're going to be working with in the department. It's a good chance for your current employees to make sure that they'll fit as an employee on the team. If they're the ones going to be working with them, they should know a little bit about this person. And also it's just a really good thing for the prospective employee to understand if they can fit in on the team. We don't want to hire someone for them to then realize it's not a good fit for either side, and now we got to backtrack it. So the third step is doing a physical test. Now, a physical test is a lot, or could be involved in a bunch of different areas, but this could be a mechanics test if they're going to be a tech, some type of wrenching test or identifying tools or whatever you want to do from that standpoint to see their knowledge and their physical skill on that. It could be certainly from the driving side of things. Have them doing a driving test, pulling a trailer, backing it up. How can they do that? Are they capable of it? Can they do what they say they can do? And the last step part of that is having them go to the occupational health clinic and actually doing a physical assessment based on the job duties that they're going to be having. If they're a tech, can they climb? Can they move their body a certain way? Can they lift a certain amount of pounds? Can they physically do the work? It's really important on this part because you don't want to hire a work comp claim. When you hire someone, you hire them as is. So whatever pre-existing or injuries or issues that they have, physical limitations that they have, you're now on the hook for if they re-aggravate it, re-injure it as part of your team. So those are the physical testings that you want to do. And then the last part is really a step after they become on board or when you hire them, and that's the onboarding process. It really is a huge help to make sure that you have the first few weeks outlined for them so they know what to expect. You have a clear, direct path of how to train them, how to bring them in part of your team. Make that a warm welcome transition when they just join your team and start a new career with you. It is part of the hiring process, and it's a massive one that a lot of people miss, a lot of people skip over. So those are the 4 simple steps of creating the best practices for your hiring process. If you have any other questions, please reach out to a Dealer Risk team member. We have a Thrive risk management program called the Hire and Recruiting Program that helps walk through this directly with you if you need additional help. So thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.